Hello, doll lovers. It's Ruby Red's World of Dolls, and welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that all is well, fantastic, and fabulous your way. I thought I'd drop in and just do a little show and tell and chat a little bit. I don't have anything big or major going on over here in my mini verse in Ruby Red's World of Dolls. But, I thought I wanted to talk a little bit with my doll fam. Um, the only thing that's on my radar right now in the doll world is the LeBron James doll that's supposed to be released in a few days. I'm really hoping that I'm able to land one of those dolls because, it's not just about the doll collectors. This is a doll that a lot of fans are going to be interested in buying. It's just like the Aaliyah doll. Aaliyah was a big hit because not only were collectors of dolls wanting her, it was also her fans. So this is going to be the same issue with the LeBron James doll. So I'm just hoping that I'm able to get at least one. I would love to have two of him, but I'm aiming for one right now. So I was blessed enough to get two Aaliyahs. You guys know I had one to unbox and play with and one to keep in the box. And I'm hoping that I'm able to get two of him, but I'll settle for one. So that's the only thing that's on my radar right now in the doll community that I'm trying to purchase. I told you guys I'm cutting back and pulling back a lot. And I'm just trying to be more selective about my choices. I have a lot of dolls that I need to go through, and this hobby is an expensive hobby. But I do have some dolls that I hope that I can sell to kind of help contribute to future purchases. I live in an area where there's not a lot of doll collectors. I have one dolly sister that has the same interest as me. So, it's kind of hard to sell dolls. I guess if I decided to do them on eBay or something, which I ain't interested in doing that. It's just not that serious. But I just have to decide how I want to go about that, because I have done it on Facebook Marketplace before, and I was able to sell a few dolls. But I do have to go through some dolls. I have a lot of dolls that I no longer need or desire to have in my collection. But I have to be very careful about that too, because I've had some seller's remorse over the years. Dolls that I have parted with because at the time they were no longer a desire to have, and then I realized I shouldn't have gotten rid of them. So I like to try to be very, very particular when I start doing that, when I start purging my dolls. It hasn't been a lot that I've regretted, but I will admit that I've had some that I have regretted. And my dolly sister that I'm talking about, she has finally been able to land that Midge Chase doll, the deluxe Midge Chase doll, the rare find. She was finally able to get that doll yesterday in her hands, in her possession, and I am so happy for her. She drove 100 miles one way to get that doll, and I'm so happy that she's got her. If anybody deserves to get it, she deserves it. I want the doll. I've invested a little time and gas in trying to find her, but nothing compared to what she's done. I feel like if it's meant for me to have her, I'll get her. Just like I told her, you can't give. She has been giving up. And I told her, I said, you can't give up. You just have to just focus on something else, but always keep that in your radar, because things like that will happen when you least expect it. So I text her and told her that I was noticing on Instagram and Facebook that collectors were sharing that they are finding that doll when they weren't looking for it lately. So that sent her radars back up. So she was one of those people that were able to get her. So, like I said, if I find her, oh well, that's great. If I don't, there's so many dolls out there. I'm not gonna lose sleep over one doll. I'm not gonna do that. So that's that, and I'm just so happy for her and so glad. I was so excited for her. You would have thought that I had it, but that's how excited I was for her, because I knew how bad she wanted it. I want it too, but I think she wanted it a little bit more than me. But that's that, and I'm great about that. That's great news. But I do have this girl here that's new. This is just a budget doll. I call them budget. I don't really want to say basic now because now we have basic dolls and I don't want to confuse people. But these are the budget dolls, you know, like the swim dolls. You know, they give us these dolls. And I've been collecting these over the years. I do not have every one that they've ever released. You know, I just have the ones that I'm able to pick up myself because some dolls end up in your area and some dolls don't. Sometimes different stores get them. Like sometimes Family Dollar will carry them and nobody else will have them. You know, and sometimes Walmart will get them. You know, it's just crazy how these dolls land where they land. But I had seen the promos of the new ones, and I was hoping that I eventually would get them, you know, because I love being able to pick the dolls up in the store myself. You guys know it's nothing like being able to go in the store or go wherever you're going to shop and pick the dolls up yourself and pick them out. You know, sometimes we have no other choice but to order through the mail, but it's great when you can pick them out because they have different personalities. I had an eye appointment out of town this week, and decided to slide in that Walmart before my appointment and pick her up because it was showing that she was there. They also have the Millie in this also, and I'm definitely planning on getting her, but the Millie will probably end up in the donate pile because I just want her dress. That's what it's always been for me over the years. I love these little dresses. I know it's a crazy thing to want to collect, but I do. I love this. I love this stuff. You know, you guys know I'm a big fan of the fashion packs. Sometimes the fashion packs are not the best, but I just still like collecting them. As a Barbie collector, I just like collecting it and having it because, like I told you guys, it's like a timeline for me, seeing what was going on at that time in the fashion and Barbie. I have so many fashion packs that have not been opened. I don't even know if I'm going to open them or when I'm going to open them, but I do have my hands on them and I have them in my collection. So that's how it is with these dolls. I have quite a few dresses and shoes that came with the dolls in my little case, and I'll show you guys that too. And I only kept a few in the case that are like my favorite little faces, you know, my favorite face sculpts, but I stole the dresses of the others and they got donated in a donate pile. And then some of the budget dolls that I got, I ended up putting in another container so they're somewhere else. But I do love the dresses in this one. I do love this dress. And this is the Shanti face. Is it the Shanti face? I don't know. But you guys will tell me. Because some of you guys out there know, like Justin, he knows every face mold, every face sculpt. But she's very gorgeous. And yes, there's a little pixelation, but it's not so bad. But it is a little pixelation in her face. Just a little, not a lot. But it's there, but she's still cute. You know, the hair usually lacks in quality, but you know, it's doable. I do plan on keeping her in the little case because, again, like I said, it's one of my favorite molds. And I love the little dress. It's one piece, no Velcro. That's usually how they are. And the designs on all the dresses were different. Even though it's the same print, same fabric, you know, the print doesn't always end in the same place. So I had to choose the best face, and then I had to make sure I was getting the dress. So I ended up getting the best face, but there was another dress that I wanted more, but I didn't want to, you know, not get the right face because the dolls have personality, and this is the one that I picked. And then she has some different little shoes, the little mules. I call them the little slides, the little mules. And she's really cute. No intent to rebody her. You know, she's not going to be a character in the miniverse. So, you know, the basic 5 points of articulation are going to do fine for her. And I'm going to show you guys my little case. But I have this little case that I bought years ago. And it's just a fun little case. I love this little stuff like this. I love collecting this little stuff. My only regret is that I didn't get 2 of them. But I love the design, the artwork on it. And then, you know, it has the style of the older Barbie cases. Nothing in the back. And then you got the little handle. And yes, I haven't even taken the tag off. And I've had this case for years. But I just want to open it up and show you guys what I mean by what I do. You know, I got like this one. I turn them to the side because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. And then I have all the dresses of the ones that I've stolen. They're little dresses. I hope they don't fall out. I've stolen the little dresses off of them because I love these little dresses, like that little dress. And then you got this little dress. And then you got this one, which is, this style wasn't one of my favorites, but they were easy to find, this collection. I got all 3 of those. Then we got this little basic dress. We got this one. And this one doesn't even belong in there. That's from the Barbie Loves the Ocean. Then we got that one. I love this little series too. And we got that one. And then we got that one. And I just love these little, the Barbie logos and all on it. And then I left one in there, didn't I? Yeah. And then we got that one. So that, I must have 2 of her. Or it could be the same print but different style. But yeah, I know that, like I said, it's just a silly little thing to love to collect. But it is what I like. And then, you know, that's one of my favorite faces. And then, let me show you guys the dolls. Why not? Since they're here, since we're here. That's one of my favorite little faces. This is one of my favorite faces. And then we got this girl. I love her face mold. She's gorgeous. And then her. She's always so serious. And we got her, another fave. And you don't see her that often. And we got her. Of course, she's one of my favorites. She's pretty. And again, I love the little basic dresses. I love the little dresses, the little outfits. You know, I just like them. They make fun play. Fun little themes. And I just stack them in the box like this. I don't know how I'm going to get her in there, but we're going to have to figure it out. We're going to have to figure it out. Alright, so that's my little case. And I've got another. I love these cases. I bought the latest one. I think I got it from Amazon. I got the latest one. They're not, that one's made very well, but that newer one is not made as well as some of the ones that I've had, some of my older ones that I have. And then I was able to rebody, finally took the time to rebody my Brooklyn. This is the 65th anniversary Brooklyn. You guys know we got the blonde, and then we got the blonde, and we got Brooklyn here. And I am so in love with this doll. I've been wanting to unbox her ever since I had her, and I hadn't. And I finally, the other night, I was in the mood to do it, so I done it. She is on the Brooklyn yoga body. And, you know, I gave her some different earrings. Stole these from the Barbie Basics collection. And she looks fabulous in those earrings. And I got to style her a little bit. But she's been doing yoga this morning. So, you know, that's why she's got on the yoga attire. And then, guys, this outfit, that's why I'm telling you guys about me and these fashion packs. I had been wanting this little fashion pack. This little fashion pack, I know it doesn't appeal to a lot of people. But again, I just like collecting and having these things in my collection of Barbie fashions. But this is one of my favorite dolls, too. And she's also one of the basic, the budget dolls. And I love this face sculpt. And she's wearing this big t-shirt dress with love, happy on it. And it came with these cute jellies, these platform jellies. I love these shoes. But of course, it's only the regular and petite that can wear them. But I love them. I like the little style. And the dress doesn't have the design in the back. And it also came with this little bracelet that she's wearing as well. But I just thought, and the headband, it didn't come with the headband, you know. It just, she had that headband on. So I just left it in because it matched her dress. But yes, this is one of my favorite girls here. Yeah, she's one of my favorites. I love that face. I mean, she's gorgeous. She's just so photogenic. Look at you, girl. But yes, I you know, hey, this is the therapy part. And guys, I wanted to give you an update on this Fashionista 239, I think it is. I restyled her a little bit and just did a little reel with her. I mean, she is so much fun. But you guys remember, I rebodied her on the basketball player, and it's a pretty good match. Her face, her head is kind of like a matte. And, you know, the Made to Move body is kind of like a shiny. But it's a great match. It's not a perfect match. but it does what it needs to do. And this doll is so gorgeous. I mean, she is a fabulous. She's absolutely stunning. And while I'm thinking about it, one of you asked me on Instagram, so if you watch my videos, you'll get this. If you don't watch my videos, then you won't get this. Wanted me to compare her side by side with Aaliyah to see the difference, or if there is a difference. So here is your request of these dolls side by side in comparison. And in my opinion, there is no comparison. It's totally different to me. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think they look anything alike. Nothing alike. But there she is. So I was asked to do that, so I did. This Aaliyah is so beautiful. Again, I hope that I'm able to get LeBron James too. I mean, this is just so awesome. But she's gorgeous. It was I have not tried to rebody her. I'm not going to rebody, because you know I have two Aaliyahs, one in the box. I mean, this is just, you know, this is a big deal. All right, so, but again, she's quite gorgeous. She's lovely. She, again, like I said, she's on the basketball player body, and it's not a perfect match, but it's a very good doable match. I wasn't able to rebody my number 240. I think that's who she is, because I did do the swap. You guys know I was trying to swap her on one of the collector, body, and it just didn't work. The match was way too off. So I just put her back on her body for now until we can get something that matches. And I might have a body, but I don't want the doll that has that body to lose it. So, but I don't have one. I wish that we could get a yoga body or made to move body in this skin tone, and we don't. You know, I thought the Ale would do it, but it doesn't match. It's not a good match. So I didn't do it. It wasn't the right match. Yeah, I tried it, didn't work. It didn't meet my standard, rather. So that's why I left it be. I left it alone. But she doesn't have any pixelation. You know, it's really odd how she has no pixelation. And this girl, number 239, she has a little bit of pixelation. It's not an awful lot. It doesn't interfere with getting a great photo or video of her. But there is pixelation here on her cheeks, a little in her eyes. You can see it. But this doll has zero. I don't know what's up with that. You know, I noticed that when I was trying to do the body swapping and stuff. And I just thought that was odd, because they both came in the same release. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Then we got a new little kiddo to add to the miniverse. I got her for $2. She was on clearance. You know, there is no articulated body that I have. I don't think that would match her little skin tone. But she's quite adorable. She's adorable. But, you know, most of the kiddos are just standing around. You know, you can get them in a little good pose. But, you know, no articulation. But that's that. And I'm really, really excited. Really excited about waiting on the LeBron James doll. Are you guys planning on getting him? I would love to hear what you guys are planning to do about that. It's going to happen in a few days. Alright, so guys, I guess that concludes this video. I did want to show you guys some of the dollramas that I have been doing in my new display box that you guys know I did a little video on a while back. And some of you have requested to see the dollramas. So I'm going to have to get a video out to show you guys that, because quite a few of you have requested to see those. A lot of them are incomplete, but I do have some that are complete, and I would definitely like to show you guys those. So I would definitely be getting out a video for those. But I just wanted to come in and chat a little bit with you guys and show you guys my newest little girl here, and the backstory behind collecting these dolls, and give that comparison, that side-by-side comparison of Aaliyah and number 239, because it was requested. But I think that's all I have to talk about in this video. The next video will definitely be showing you guys some of the dioramas that have been done so that you guys can check those out and give me your feedback on those. All right, guys. You know, the weather here in North Carolina does what it does this time of year. You know, last week we were in almost 90-degree temps. And this week, for the last few days, we've been in the 40s, high 50s. It's a chilly today. You know, it's chilly. I'm sitting here with my hoodie and my sweats and my thick socks on. I'm not cold, but I'm comfortable. And, you know, because of the temps. It's just crazy. But this is the North Carolina weather. This is what we're used to this time of year. You know, you never know what you're going to get. You know, it's like they say, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So you just got to roll with it. All right, guys. You know the drill. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram. We are Ruby Red's World of Dolls there. Continue being awesome, fantastic, and fabulous. And I will see you awesome, amazing people in my next video.